My god, that is the only thing I can say after watching this tragic but so beautifully put together episode of Naruto Shippuden. Like, Itachi, bro, really? You had to go that far? I mean, before this episode, we only knew what happened on paper. We got some of the details, we saw some of the scenes, but not like this. All of the details exposed, everything fucking exposed, and I don't really even know what to say. Like, after watching this again, there is an argument to be made against Itachi Uchiha to where I'm like, he didn't have to take it this far. He did not have to take it this far at all. All judgments aside, looking at the quality of this episode alone and all of the detail it provided, Shisui killing himself, committing suicide, telling Itachi, do not save me. That would be the biggest betrayal that you can make as a friend, and then seeing Itachi actually unlock the MS, because we've never actually seen that. We've never seen Itachi unlock the MS. We know what happened after Shisui's death, but we haven't seen it like this, and I don't know a more epic way of unlocking the Mangekyo Sharingan. Itachi is so numb and broken on the inside after seeing his best friend's death. He couldn't really cry like that. I mean, you could see his emotions taking over for a split second. He's trying to react like a normal human being would, but that mold, that shell that he crafted early on in his life when he experienced all of those traumatic things and he matured really quickly, that mold did not shatter, that mold did not break, so he did not react normally. He just unlocked the MS. Because we've always known Shisui's death affected Itachi, but seeing it like this, it changes your perspective. It was Shisui's death that made Itachi turn on his clan 100%. Before that, he's always had problems with the way Fugaku operated, how he showed no love towards anybody else. In fact, he felt like he showed no love towards him. It was only because of his skills that he appreciated him as a child. You know, seeing him as simply an asset to the Uchiha clan, he was willing to go as far as war, a bloodless revolution, so to say, and no revolution is bloodless. Of course, you have to remove the central power, right? That's blood. And you could say a part of the pie is the Uchiha sentiment getting worse and worse, Fugaku getting more corrupt, Danzo being a little fucking rat, but no longer can you say that's the majority of the pie. Now you have to say that Shisui's death is the majority of the pie as to why Itachi did what he did. He wasn't willing to get pushed around anymore, fucking up the Uchiha elders, throwing a kunai in front of his dad, very angry despite the fact that his dad was like, what's going on, Itachi? Really aggressively? We've never seen his father that aggressive with him before. And he just 180 because of Shisui in this week's episode, and seeing that change really put into perspective. He no longer played with Sasuke, only fucking flicking him on the forehead, and from that point on, he was disobedient towards his dad, and he was only in the Uchiha clan to really spy on them and to kind of maintain things so that, you know, it wouldn't go too crazy and shit, that he'd end them before they'd go crazy. Basically, the Leaf Village already fucking won before the Uchiha clan massacre, and that's where I gotta say there's an argument to be made against Itachi Uchiha, like, he took things too far. It was then that he started spying on the Uchiha clan. In fact, he started spying even on the girl that was infatuated to him, Izumi, the girl that Itachi saved on the night of the Nine-Tails attack when Tobi unleashed that bitch. He even started spying on her. And just to quickly add in before we talk about some of the other details, we find out that not only was Izumi's crush on Itachi unrequited love, Itachi never responded to that shit, and she probably had a boyfriend, that guy that she was walking with, I believe, to the meeting. But aside from the fact that Itachi had never responded, she actually died on the night of the Uchiha clan massacre. So this wasn't a girl that Itachi was, of course, dating or in love with, but this is a girl who's in love with Itachi, and those two should have fucked. They would have made beautiful ass babies, yo. Like Orochimaru would have Sandusky'd them motherfuckers before they developed into fetuses. But she was in love with Itachi, and we see that when she was screaming out for help, Itachi, when Tobi had dropped those chains on her, the only thing that we know about her is that she indeed died that night. And I'm not gonna lie, man, that shit is fucked, and I actually do to some extent think that Itachi maybe had some love with her. And I don't know when it was, I didn't see that shit on screen, but we know in the manga it was confirmed that Itachi had a girlfriend that died on the night of the attack, and who else would be Itachi's girlfriend than the girl that's screaming for Itachi's fucking help when Tobi's got the chains? And keep in mind, who informed everybody about Itachi's girlfriend? It's like, come on, we all love Itachi, I love Itachi, but there's an argument to be made that Itachi took it too far. He was too savage this night. We saw limbs flying everywhere, we saw arms getting chopped off, we saw kids getting killed. Fuck. It's fucked, man, and after seeing all of these details, I feel like Shisui, you killed yourself too early on, bro. You should have stayed in this clan. You should have tried to do a little bit more just to make sure Itachi was sane and that he didn't do these things. Because as I said again, while Fugaku wanted a bloodless revolution, while we actually got that flashback of him controlling the Nine Tails with his MS, oh my fucking god, that was insanity. The Uchiha bringing Naruto, Fugaku transforming his ass, destroying the entire village, including his own people in the process. Like, despite all of the hypocrisy that Fugaku was spewing out and how angry Itachi was, you could see the look on his face when he heard those words, bloodless revolution. There's still an argument to be made that the Uchiha clan, they already fucking lost the second Itachi started spying on them, and he could have easily contained everything. He didn't need to go as far as killing his potential girlfriend who screamed for help, including kids who pose no harm whatsoever. Even in the future, you could make the argument that if they were raised correctly, they'd pose no threat to anyone. And again, it's the details that this episode laid out that changed my perspective on everything. Shisui, you are somewhat responsible. Itachi, you took it too far. Your potential girlfriend, the fucking kids, your father in the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now Itachi meets up with his father Fugaku at the shrine after telling those Foundation spies to stay the fuck back. The same spies that he ended up doing in at the end of this week's episode, having those two kill each other with fucking swords, using a genjutsu to trick them into thinking that they actually got him. And my god, like, come on, bro. Itachi, like, all they wanted to do was show that they're actually chasing you out of the village. They didn't want to actually kill you. They just wanted to fight a little bit with you, which is why they asked you to take it easy on them, and you took it real easy on them. You took them straight to fucking hell. Damn, Itachi. Either way, we find out that Fugaku, his main goal was to read that stone tablet, which we hadn't known previously. He knows about it. Well, I'm pretty sure we know about it. But it almost seemed like he wanted Itachi to read that shit with his Mangekyo Sharingan, because before we didn't know that Fugaku actually had the MS, and the fact that he has the MS really makes Fugaku a lot stronger than he originally appeared to be. In fact, had Fugaku and Itachi actually partaken in a battle, which I would have preferred seeing, even though it wouldn't fit in with the storyline, because we know that Fugaku and his mother kind of like bowed down to him before they got sliced up. Let's be honest, when we saw those two facing each other, father and son, and we found out about Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan and how he could control the Nine Tails, we all deep inside wanted to see them two brawl it out, and it would have been the best fight ever. Like, holy fuck, please. You should have given us an episode of those two just fighting. It would have been so epic. But when we saw Fugaku's MS and we found out that he got it back during the Third World War when he actually exposed Itachi to the battlefield, apparently he saw his friend sacrifice him or some shit, to where I say, what friend? I'm not gonna lie, his Mangekyo Sharingan looks really neat, especially in comparison to the other MSs, and the fact that he can control the Nine Tails potentially says a lot about his strength. A lot about a potential matchup between those two. But again, when he actually exposed Itachi to that vision of the Nine Tails just running fucking rampant, destroying everything, including his own clan members, when he heard Fugaku talking about a bloodless revolution, he knew at that point in time, Itachi, after that fucking shocked look on his face, seeing the destruction, he knew it was his desires for the Uchiha clan to take over, and his ego, his fucking nationalism was just running loose. Seeing the detail, seeing the story play out like this, seeing the actual Uchiha clan massacre, it makes a lot more sense now. Danzo be like, well, you reported it to me, there's no other fucking way. You know, Fugaku's going to do everything to prove a point for the Uchiha clan, and he's not going to stop at anything, even his child's life. Even though Danzo's mentality was wrong, because Fugaku couldn't even face his child, he couldn't fight his child. He said, well, if that's your decision, son, go ahead and kill me and your mother. And, you know, seeing all of it in greater detail, Itachi watching Naruto and Sasuke at the fucking playground, the animation looking so beautiful throughout this week's episode, specifically that scene. Seeing Itachi meet up with Obito, aligning themselves together, was ultimately Obito who helped Itachi escape and allowed him to, like, join the Akatsuki and shit. Seeing Itachi stick his sword into his own blood time and time again. We didn't see the actual kids' deaths, but we know that Itachi killed the kids even in the Uchiha clan. I'm not gonna lie, even though Itachi was crying as he's slaying his parents, and I almost fucking cried, and I've seen that scene multiple times, I still don't know how he did it. I think he took it way too fucking far. I understand that he's joining the Akatsuki now to watch over the village and over his brother, and, you know, he's an S-rank ninja and he's rogue, and the entire village fucking hates him, so he can't be there no more. I understand that he was put into a shitty situation time and time again, but again, this episode, you can easily make the argument that Itachi, you went too fucking far, bro. Like, you didn't need to do any of this. Why didn't you approach your dad with a more emotional fucking feel? Like, cry, be like, I'll be the future of the Uchiha clan, but don't do this shit, you know, control the sentiment, you know, be more persuasive, and instead he just accepted everything, I guess partially because he blamed his father and the clan for Shisui's deaths, which is why he took out all of his anger on these Uchiha elders. It's a really fucked atmosphere, but Itachi killed kids, that potential girlfriend of his. You saw the lights flickering as Obito was slaying people on the top. Damn.